My dear viewers, hello and welcome to a new episode of our program Culture Magazine, during which we're going to bring you the latest cultural events that are taking place in Egypt, so stay tuned.
Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdidaim and Dr. Salim bin Mohammed El Malik, Director General of ISESCO, announced the launch of the celebration activities in Cairo, the capital of culture in the Islamic world 2022. The celebration comes within the framework of the program implemented by the Islamic Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, ISESCO. The Minister of Culture said that this choice embodies Egypt's position among the countries of the world, adding that Cairo includes multiple vocabulary that express the features of human civilization in general and the Islamic heritage in particular. Egypt is also a meeting point for cultures through times and ages as a capital of creativity and a center for thought and art. The minister elaborated that the events of the summit are supportive and dedicated to the purposes of presenting a true image of Islamic civilization and highlighting the values of coexistence and tolerance, as well as consolidating bonds and enhancing communication between the people of the Islamic world. Abdidaim also praised the role of the International Science and Culture Organization for Islamic Education in implementing its unique program to celebrate the capitals of Islamic countries and its endeavors to invest all tools in effective methods for strengthening relations between them, emphasizing the ability of soft powers to bring about emotional rapprochement and build bridges of communication between people. The ministry pointed out that the events extend throughout the year 2022 and include a rich program prepared by the various sectors of culture in coordination with ISESCO, which includes ambitious vision regarding the type of activities and events to be implemented under the agenda of choosing Cairo as the capital of Culture in the Islamic World 2022, which number approximately 50 cultural, artistic, intellectual, and creative events. These events embody the most important features of the Egyptian identity with its many cultural heritage contents. A true account of the ancient Islamic civilization. ISESCO is the Islamic World Organization for Education, Science, and Culture, and its works within the framework of the organization concerned with the fields of education, science, culture, and communication between Islamic countries. And it works to strengthen ties among member states. And its headquarters is in Rabat. The organization was established in 1979, and its membership includes 54 countries. Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdidaim and Major General Ashraf Atiyah, the governor of Aswan, witnessed the closing of the activities of the 26th session of the Aswan International Sculpture Symposium, which is organized by the Cultural Development Fund headed by Dr. Fathi Abdul Wahab, along with other concerned officials. The minister said that on the lands of Aswan, the charming jewel of the Nile, lies the story of the symposium, which exceeds a quarter of a century of creativity that began as a dream of the late artist Adam Hanin in 1996. The dream is renewed annually, thereby catching the attention of the international artistic community, and became a shining light in the fine movement of granite carving art. She added that throughout the successive sessions of the symposium comes a unique artistic forum that brings together specialists in the field of sculpture, and experiences are growing in dealing with solid matter and adapting it to create models characterized by beauty to remain immortal for eternity. For arts, culture, and creativity, the minister thanked the Aswan Governorate, the main partner in the success of the symposium, and saluted the Cultural Development Fund sector, which took upon itself the task of organizing this important event. Aswan has become a center for sculptures around the world and an open museum for the works that exist in it. The Ministry of Culture aims to raise awareness in different parts of the country, stressing that it provides all kinds of support for creative events on the land of Zahrat al-Ghanoob, or the flower of the South. The Minister of Culture and the Governor of Aswan inspected the works of the participating artists, and they were handed certificates of appreciation and the shield of the Governorate of Aswan. The winning artists included various Egyptians as well as other artists from various parts of the world. The cultural event honored the participating artists and watched with the audience a folkloric performance of the Aswan Folklore Troupe of the Cultural Palaces Authority.
Egypt is always keen on international cooperations in the field of culture, so stay tuned.
The Embassy of the Republic of Korea hosted a seminar on the survey results on the Egyptian people's images of Korea in Cairo. The event comes in cooperation with a Korean marketing company alongside a research agency also in Cairo, inviting various Korea-related groups, including foreign ministry officials, professors, and students from the Korean language department of Ain Shams University, journalists, Korean correspondents, and Egypt-Korea digital ambassadors appointed by the embassy last September.
Many interesting points were suggested. Of course, what's the most important is to provide as many opportunities as possible for Egyptian people to be exposed to Korea itself and Korea-related things like food items or movies. And I found some very new areas where Egyptian people have interest in Korea is that what we call K-beauty products, like the cosmetics, and also they are also very much interested in the Korean medical supplies. So all these kind of new insights that we were able to get from these research will definitely guide us to forming a specific policies and projects for that purpose. I cannot give you any concrete answer at this moment, but this is the reason why we hosted this kind of seminar, collecting as many diverse opinions as possible from the Egyptian people who have been knowing about Korea for a long time, like the Ain Shams University professors and students and the Egyptian journalists. So on the basis of the outcome of the research, together with the feedback that we were able to collect from today's seminar, definitely that will help us to form some very specific projects or specific policies for better future. Feedback from a couple of audiences today, we were surprised to compare what they were able to feel like a decade ago and what they feel now about the recognition of our partner country by our own people. And even like up to 10 years ago, for a person who is majoring in Korean studies at Ain Shams University, their people, their friends and families came to ask you, where is Korea and why are you studying Korean studies, or in Korea what language are they using? But that do not happen again any longer. So now here in Egypt, these days when I walk along the street, they sometimes identify me easily, and they are talking about the Parasite or Squid Game, which is Korean movies and Korean Netflix dramas. Yesterday I was at the Cairo International Film Festival, and a Korean film was awarded the Bronze Pyramid Medal at the film festival. So nowadays the recognition of Korea and Korea-related items are getting more and more.
When Egyptians go to any place, they leave their mark in that country. Wherever I travel and they know that I'm Egyptian, foreigners are usually very excited to see an Egyptian, because we have very good characteristics and traits that are very distinct. So I think when more people know about South Korea and they visit the country, South Koreans as well would know. And I think a lot of South Koreans come to Luxor and Aswan to see our beautiful country. So I think they already know Egyptian and how we're warm and have a good character. So I think with more people going there as well, a good connection can be made.
Today's event was very impressive to me, because I'm the one who used to talk to people about South Korea and they would say we don't know anything about it. But now, looking at the results on the research we saw today, I feel that people now, the Egyptian people's knowledge and interest about Korea is growing more and more, and I'm very happy watching this today. What is important is we should keep going on that. We on the embassy, for example, on the embassy or the Korean Culture Center Institute, they are doing a great job teaching people the Korean language, the Korean culture, and introducing Korea to the Egyptians through their SNS accounts. And for example, when the ambassador of Korea showed on the Egyptian TV, teaching the people through TV the Egyptian culture, so they are doing very good. But we need to do more the same way. The method is successful. We need to be more continuous on that.
This event is so important. We gather results and surveys that tell us about how Korea is doing in Egypt, and how the culture is viral right now, and it tells us about the issues that make us we cannot move to better places, so we can fix these issues. So that's why I thought it's very important to be here today, so I can know what to work on and what. I studied Korean back in 2015, and I was very thrilled about the Korean culture and dramas and K-pop. I don't know, it was like very viral back then, the K-pop and songs. So I was interested in actually the language. When I heard it, I thought it's very cute. Oh, I want to speak this language. So that's why I decided to learn it by myself, like online. And when I graduated from high school, I decided to get in the Korean department.
The Korean Embassy in Cairo holds a seminar to enhance Egyptians' perception of South Korea and its culture. This is Sabita Gindi for the Cultural Magazine, Cairo.
The Cairo Opera House plays a significant role in the cultural movement that is taking place in Egypt, so stay tuned.
Musician and pianist Fathi Salama and the Sharqiyat group presents a concert on the open stage at the Cairo Opera House. The program includes new electronic distributions for the soundtrack written by Fathi Salama for the films Paradise of Devils and The Traveler, in addition to a new selection of his own compositions. It's worth noting that Fathi Salama is a composer, music producer, and pianist. Fathi Salama is an Egyptian musician who usually appears with his ensemble Sharqiyat. Salama grew up listening to the radio, which played artists who placed a deep influence upon him. His childhood influences were musicians like Kulthum, Muhammad Abdul Wahab, and Farid al-Atrash. These artists influenced him so much that he decided to get involved with music. He then started to create his own versatile style of music from playing the piano from the age of 6, and followed by gigging in Cairo clubs from the age of 13. Soon the child of Shubra in Cairo made visits to Europe and New York City to learn jazz with such artists as Barry Harris, Sun Ra, Roman Banca, Hal Galper, and Pat Patrick. He progressed to making plenty of hits in Cairo during the 1980s. He has been touring the world and he has won 2 prizes for his film soundtracks for Fallen Angels Paradises and Signs of April. It's with Sharqiyat that Fathi is making his dream come true of merging modern and traditional music together. The Sharqiyat troupe, founded by Fathi Salama in 1989, is one of the distinguished Egyptian groups and has given many successful concerts in many countries of the world, and has also participated in a number of specialized international festivals. Fathi has collaborated in electronic music with Kushari or his meetings with Alex Roy, and his care music on Egypt in the Yosanando album. Fathi held a lot of workshops to help amateurs with his experience, which produced workshops artists such as Dina Al-Wadidi and many others. He's the only artist in the Arab world to win the International Grammy Award for Music in 2004. He also received the BBC International Award and the BBC Soundtrack Award at the Cairo International Film Festival in 2000 for the movie Paradise, The Devils, and the short feature film Signs of April. He also set the soundtrack for the movie Traveler. He also contributed in distributing and composing many songs for the great Egyptian singers such as Muhammad Munir, Amr Diab, Ali Al-Haggar. He also participated in the most important jazz festivals and World Music International and presented about 9 albums in which he collaborated with the world's music and singing famous figures.
Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program Culture Magazine. I hope you've enjoyed being with me. Please wait for me in the next episode. Until then, it's goodbye.